We
Thanks.
actually have one of the future speakers of this afternoon who has some questions for you. So we'd like to bring him on to join the conversation. So yeah, go ahead, Amit.
Hi there. I'm actually the next speaker, so it's even more convenient.
Excellent.
Hi, Francis. It's great, beautiful talk. Really wonderful
Yeah.
question. I was just curious. I'm sure you must be familiar with Conway's book, right? The Winning Ways for Your Mathematical Play. Conway and Brolicamp, and Guy, right? I think, or the authors.
Yes, that's right. There's a
Wondering if,
books.
yeah, I'm wondering if there's any analysis along those lines that you've started to do for this game, and any understanding of those sorts of things, like direct sum theorems also, that if you have many different graphs and you sum them, if you put them both on the board and play them simultaneously, those kind of
Yeah,
questions.
yeah. So I guess there are a few things that come to mind that are related to the Winning Ways book. One is whether you can use the Sprague-Grundy or the Grundy theorem to try to understand this game, and certainly you can. Although doing that, at least as far as we can tell, doesn't give any insight. In terms of strategies you can describe to a friend, right? Like ones that you can actually say, here's how you play the game, rather than do this computation and decide who's going to win. The game is it does have some features that look that make it amenable to understanding some of the aspects of the game. It's of course, now I'm blanking on the feature that it's of a class of games that are called blank, and now I'm forgetting what what goes in the blank. But and some of those things are addressed in Winning Ways. But there's probably other things that we're not aware of, because I'm not necessarily that well versed in combinatorial game theory. So certainly invite you to think further on that.
That sounds great. Yeah, there's so many just beautiful questions also in complexity theory, as people have mentioned. I'm actually coming at this from a theoretical computer science background, so I was about, yeah, but I won't say that until my part starts. So
yeah, thank you.
Speaking of next presentation, I think we have a few minutes. Is there somebody you were going to introduce, Alissa, or?
I was, but there are technical difficulties. So,
Right.
So perhaps, actually, Amit, if you are ready and willing to speak now, if there aren't any more questions for Francis. I mean, first let's check the chat to make sure that there's no more questions for him. But if you're willing to speak earlier, we could definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Let's see. I don't see anything else, Francis. But what I loved about your story is just the progression, right? That you involved the faculty at this program for faculty, and then each of them can go out and involve their undergraduates. Meanwhile, you're working with students. You're involved with a PMP. I mean, this is one of my favorite things about being a mathematician, the community and how excited everyone is to just talk about mathematics together, and that no one's just, sitting at their desk by themselves with their office door closed, cranking out theorems.
Yeah.
So it's a great story. Thank you so much for sharing it.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think we would all love to see more people enjoy math in a way that is community building, and certainly my friendship with Christopher Jackson has deepened because of a shared love for mathematics. And I think that it'd be wonderful if more people were able to experience that.
And I just wanted to add a shout out to the MAA in general. I'm so impressed with how this organization has reached out and helped Christopher, sending books, sending material. He was doing Math Horizons problems because the prison was getting Math Horizons. I mean, so there were a lot of journals. And the community in terms of being welcoming, and not just welcoming, but helpful. I'm very proud to be a mathematician. I'm very proud to be an MAA member. I think it's a great organization. Wasn't really a question. Sorry.
Yeah. No, me too. I should say that just because people often have this confusion between Christopher Jackson and Christopher Havens, that Christopher Jackson also has been one of the ways that he's gotten interested in math has been because of the MAA and the publications, and he's also been working on problems that are in the problem section of the monthly. I think he actually has a few solutions
Right.
that he's had published as well.
Well, the wonderful thing to me about the Prison Math Project is that it's giving a national face to a lot. I mean, there are a lot of people in this country who are incarcerated and have an interest in math at a high level. And you start to realize that when you start editing these problem columns, and you get people writing to you saying, "I read that article about Christopher. I'm in a very similar position, as somebody in Michigan or somebody in the South or somebody else." So it's.
And it's a shame that more prisons don't have prison education programs. So, for instance, the one that Jackson is in, he doesn't have the ability to take classes or anything like that.
That's a shame.
Francis, another question actually appeared in the chat. I don't know if you see it. Any thoughts on the connections of graph Laplacians and the game states at the end?
That's a new one to me. No, I don't know of any. Yeah, that's a great question.
Great. Well, thank you again for such a wonderful talk. If you want to stick around for a minute or two, the secret person that I'm about to bring in. Otherwise, if you need to go, I totally understand. I need to run off to teach soon, but before I do so, I have someone who's willing to make a quick cameo. So earlier this morning, the great pi versus e debate came up in the discussion. This video is available on YouTube, and we have for you